what kind of religious beliefs the Vedic people were having, the religion. In early Vedic period, as we have seen, they settled near Sapta Sindhu and they were having the activity pastoral. So cow was their major wealth, and cow was very important wealth for them, and they have seen nature. In nature, they have seen different forces like rain, water, fire, sun, storms. As they did not have any settled life and they don't have any proper houses, also, rain, water, fire, sun, storms, everything will affect them. So they try to personify this nature. So nature worship began. So we are talking about early Vedic period up to 1000 BC first. So nature worship began. This nature worship began not just they started in India. The Aryan beliefs, they were even in Iran also. In Avesta, we have seen already the oldest text of Iran was the Avesta. In that text also, nature worship is visible, and the gods, the some of the it is very interesting to know that some of the god names were similar in the Avestan text and in the Sanskrit Vedic text. So Rigveda also contains the names which were already used in Avesta. So that means this nature worship was already known to Aryan people. So they continued it, and they nature worship in India. Nature worship began. So all these, like the people, the gods like Indra, Varuna, Agni, these people were some of the important gods they have worshipped. So all these were compiled in Rigveda. So Rigvedic gods means these people are Rigvedic gods, powerful gods. In Rigveda, 250 slokas were given to Indra, 200 slokas were given to Agni. Indra was god of rain. Varuna was god of water and natural order. And they felt that this nature was controlled by Varuna. This nature is being run as per the wishes of Varuna. And Agni, he was considered as intermediate between humans and gods. That's why humans started yajnas. They performed yajnas and they thought through the smoke, whatever offerings humans are giving to Agni, Agni is taking upward and taking the food to gods. So that's why he was considered as intermediate between humans and gods. So this is nature worship. And they also worshipped the sun, sunrise, and sunlight. Usha, they have given names Usha, Aditi, or some of the names given to sunrise, sunlight, Gayatri. Sorry, Savitri. She was the goddess. These were goddess. So male gods were worshipped, and female gods were worshipped. So these people were these gods belong to female goddess. Usha, Aditi, Savitri. For Savitri, a mantra was compiled. that is Gayatri Mantra. This Gayatri Mantra was compiled in third mandala in Rig Veda. We are talking about Rig Veda only. So whatever information we know here about early Vedic means we are only talking about Rig Veda. So this is the religion of early Vedic people. Now, how it transformed after later Vedic period. In later Vedic period, some of the important changes came in society. Now cow gave way to agriculture. So they have iron technology, settled life, and matured political setup also. After religion, we will see about a political setup. So all these factors have an impact in the religious thought also. So they have settled life. Now priestly class would have, and moreover, the priestly class in early Vedic period, pastoral activity, agriculture activity, and other activities were done by all kinds of people. There was no segregation of work. Means in early Vedic period, warrior class, suppose warrior, priests, pastoral, agrarian, agriculture. These activities were not decided by birth in the early Vedic period. According to the needs of the people, all kinds of people used to take the job of warrior. If there is a disturbance in a tribe, or if other tribe is attacking the tribe, so people become warriors. And while worshipping the nature, entire tribe used to chant. So priests, everyone is a priest, and whoever is interested in that particular task, they become either warriors or priest or pastoral person or agrarian. So there was no differentiation of tasks by birth. But in later Vedic period, they started giving the segregation. Why? Slowly, they became settled life. They got settled life. Agriculture became a dominant activity in the economic activity, and slowly what happens? The wealth increased. As the wealth increased, the distribution of wealth also increased. So certain classes got more wealth, certain classes did not get wealth. And this Jana, earlier is a small tribes used to live together. In early Vedic period, Jana was an important word. From Jana, in later Vedic period, territory has become more important part because it is settled life. They used to settle in a particular location for very long time. So territory is important for people. In semi-nomadic, if there is a threat in a particular area, they move to new area. Now in the settled life, when there is a threat, they fight and they protect the territory. So that means simply in early Vedic period, they were protecting people, Jana. Jana too. In later Vedic period, they started protecting the territory itself. So that if you protect the territory and people who are there inside territory are safe. So the concept of Jana to Janapada came. So because of settled life, agriculture life, in pastoral community, they simply move to new place very easily. Just they take their cows and they go. But in agriculture, they cannot do that. So the territory concept became very important, and Jana became Janapada. And in these people, the ruler became powerful, and always they needed some advisors, priests, to protect, to preserve their power. So all these social setup and economic technological angle has changed the religious thought as well. So in religion also they have created Trinity of God. Trinity of God. The Trinity, one is creator of the world, creator. Another one, protector. So one God is for creation, one God is for protection, and another God is for to destroy evils. So this is Trinity of God, Trimurti, creator, protector, destroyer of evils. Creator was called Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. This is how the Trinity of gods evolved. So this is the religious thought of later Vedic period. And you will see in the compilation of the text also, the kind of mantras. Aranyakas, we have seen Aranyakas, they were related to evil. Yajurveda is for yajnas. So while performing yajnas, and they needed new mantras, those they created Yajurveda. In Rigvedic slokas, they were chanting in a musical form. They needed music, Samaveda. So Samaveda. For doing yajnas, they created Yajurveda. And to ward off evils, about evil concept, so they created Atharva Veda. And for explanations of Brahmana, so all these kinds of literature also developed because of new kind of setup, new social setup, new economic setup, new technology setup, and in new geographical locations. So in these geographical locations, the forests are very dense forests. Dense forest in eastern part of Gangetic plains. So to clear dense forest, it is very difficult. So iron was used to clear the forest. But when there is a dense forest, so people used to see more darkness, and they threatened these forests. The people were threatened by the dark forest, and they used to think that evil forces were there inside, deep inside forest. They created new chants. So that is how Atharvana Veda and forest Aranyakas emerged out of the kind of new need. So as the society changed, needs do change. As the needs change, the religious thought also keep changing. Here in the religion, here we are seeing about historical human evolution aspect. But we are not seeing this development in the religious aspect. In the religious aspect, these Vedas were given by gods directly. Humans did not create. In history, we are studying Vedas were developed or compiled by humans. But if you see in the pure religious angle, the story says these Vedas were directly, the gods descended and gave these Vedas. So these are the words of directly God, Brahma. And these Vedas were given to sages on the earth. These sages spread this word throughout humanity, throughout the geographical locations. So that is how religion says. But in the humanistic evolution, biological evolution, cultural evolution, sociological evolution, if we see, as society change, the thought of people change. As the thought of people change, according to the needs, religious dimensions also do change. So simply, in early Vedic period, they were doing nature worship and yajnas, and in the later Vedic period, Trinity of concept, Trinity of God, three gods. So whatever happens on the earth, so it was the act of these three gods. So this is how religious thought changed from early Vedic period to and later Vedic. What happened to early Vedic gods? It's an important question, interesting one. And they did not completely left Indra, Agni, Varuna. They did not leave them completely. They were given the status of Ashtadik Palakas. Ashtadikpalakas means north, east, south, west. One god is one god is head of north, one god is head of west, one god is the controller of south, one god is protecting the east. This shows how rulers protect the people from all the four directions. So they have given this status. Early god Indra, Varuna, Agni. These people were given the status of Ashtadikpalakas. They were the heads of or protector of one particular direction. So this is the religious dimension of later Vedic period and early Vedic period. Now finally we see about the political setup. And this political setup is important because this same political setup continues throughout, it's a continuous chain throughout our history. So now next part is about political dimension of Vedic civilization, how they were ruled. Now we see about political setup of political setup, how they were administering themselves, what kind of administration. So in early Vedic period, what happens? They were moving people, semi-nomadic people, so tribal in character. When they were having tribal culture, importance is given to protection of each and every individual. So Jana is very, very important. Jana means people. And family is another basic administrative unit. So family is the first, in society it is the first unit. The head of family was Kulapa. They used to play an important role in the administration, in the politics also. And village head, Gramini. So entire village or entire collection of people are called village, and head of the village is Gramini. Collection of village, entire tribe, headed by Rajan. So these people were important administrative people during early Vedic period. There were, Rajan was not, as we have seen, there were three classes: warrior class, priestly class, and commoners. The collection of female, entire people were also called Vis. So Rajan was, it was not a hereditary one. Whoever is capable of doing war, they were given the role of a warrior. Whoever is capable enough to pray, as they were doing for nature worship, whoever is capable of praying, they were given. Whoever is capable of for war, he is a soldier. Whoever is capable of doing artisanship, talent, or agriculture, or other works, they were given that particular role. That's why in a single family, father is one in one profession, mother is in one profession, and son is in one profession. So son says he is a poet, his mother is a grinder, and his father is a chariot maker. artisans. So similar, this kind of egalitarian fluid type of society. So hence there was control over raja. All people were important. There was no priority or privilege by birth. So all people used to take place in the political setup and administrative matters as well. Popular assemblies were there. These assemblies do have control over raja. So the some of the names: Sabha, Samiti, Vidhata, Gana are the names of some of the assembly names. Here in Sabha, all elder people. Samiti means entire population, whole tribe. Whole tribe is part of Samiti. They have control over Raja, and sometimes this entire population elect Raja. So elect the head of the entire tribe. So that means it is a democratic setup. So we can say it is a democratic setup. It is also a republican type. Republican and monarchy, two aspects of head of the states were there. In monarchy, by birth, king after king comes. After king family, from the king family becomes king. Monarchy, king was the head. In a republic, by birth, no one is head of the state. People themselves elect the head of the state, like Indian Republic. Today, India is a republican country because president is not a king. Their families are not becoming kings. After every 5 years, people in indirect way, whatever may be the way of election, but indirectly people are replacing the head of the state as per the wishes of people. Such kind of political setup is the republic. So in early Vedic period we can see republican character. Republic, democratic. So in early Vedic period, republican character and democratic elements are seen. So this is the early Vedic political setup. And the kind of taxation. What kind of taxes were there? Tax was not, it was not compulsory, because they were semi-nomadic people. Whenever people can offer to protect, whenever war comes, the entire resources are pooled and protect their tribe. So a tax called Bali. A Bali, it was a voluntary. It's a voluntary offering of the people to the state. So it is taxation. So head of the state, popular assemblies, and different administrators. Along with Raja, other people like priest and Senapati, Rajapati are some of the administrative officers during early Vedic period. Rajapati. Rajapati means he is a head of pastoral grounds, because pastoral grounds are very crucial for early Vedic economy, for life. So that's why Rajapati was the name. He was the head of pastoral grounds. So this is about political setup of early Vedic period. Now we see later Vedic period. Later Vedic polity. We have seen from Sindhu region to Gangetic plains. They moved. Now iron is an important tool, and the power and wealth of Aryans increased. Now in these circumstances, now these political dimensions also do change. Now instead of Janapada has become an important Janapada territory. Janapada, wherever people are located. Janapada. So territories became important, settled life. Now wealth is not only cows. The wealth included agriculture fields, agriculture product, and trade routes, transportation routes. All these become an important part and parcel of later Vedic society. So now the whoever is the ruler or simply whoever is protector of the people, he has to protect the territory. So Janapada has become more important element of politics, and the Rajan has become hereditary now, and he was more powerful now, monarch, as the people shifted their economic activities, and the four Varna system also emerged: Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra. The social setup also changed now. So now with the texts, with the Brahmanical texts, with the new Vedas, so divine theory was propagated. Divine theory was propagated means the Kshatriyas and Brahmanas were there at higher echelons of society, and Vaishyas and Sudra at the lower stages to preserve the order of the society. So, king was a representative of the god to protect this order of hierarchy. Shudras, Vaishyas, Kshatriyas, Brahmanas. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Here you will find less number, and here more numbers but at the lower stage of society. Very less numbers at the higher stage of society. So Rajan became hereditary monarchy. So this became a kingship. Monarch was autocrat. Sabha, Samiti, Vidata, the popular assemblies now became irrelevant. Now they became irrelevant, and whatever Raja says, that becomes new laws. So now priestly class became advisors to the kings, and people also now became just ruled subjects of the king. This territory became hereditary property of the kings, and the people, common people, were now became the subjects of this king. Now they have to taxation. They have to pay now a compulsory tax, bhaga. Bhaga. It was part of their produce. Now a administrator called Bhagaduga. Bhagaduga, an administrative officer, was also established to collect the tax called Bhaga. Bali was the voluntary tax people used to give to Raja. Raja was elected by the Sabha Samiti. But here in taxation also became very compulsory tax, and Rajan, the post of Raja has become hereditary. Monarch form of style governance has come. New administrators like Bhagaduga emerged in later Vedic period, because territory has become important, settled life came, and the people who already occupied the post, like Raja is a post, if you take it as a post, and they don't want to lose that post and control over the territory, and it continued over generations. That's how monarchy has become a norm of Indian politics after later Vedic period. And later we can see this Janapada, these kings became even more powerful. As the kings became more powerful, the small kingdoms became bigger kingdoms. They became Mahajanapadas. That means they started conquering the neighboring territories, and they started wars continuously with the neighboring territories. So Janapadas became Mahajanapadas later. That's why the political The roots of the politics in India started with Vedic civilization. So this is how later Vedic polity emerged or transformed from early stages to the later stages. So earlier Jana was important, now Janapada. Earlier Raja was elected, now here it became hereditary by birth. And how they and divine theory, earlier they were for people, now here for to protect the people as per the wishes of the god, divine theory. And taxation was not compulsory, it was voluntary one in early Vedic period, now it has become compulsory one. So this is how the political setup of later Vedic period and early Vedic period. So with this, the political structure of Vedic civilization also completed. So this is the Vedic civilization part. Now we will see some of the questions, how questions are coming in Vedic civilization. See here. The first reference to the fourfold caste system is found in. Here, this was the answer Purusha Sukta. This Purusha Sukta was written in 10th mandala of Rig Veda. So Rig Veda was early Vedic period text. In the early Vedic period, 10th book means in the end, almost in the end of Rig Vedic period, the caste system emerged, fourfold varna. Till then, threefold, but it was not rigid, it was not caste system, it was class. This caste has come in the 10th mandala of Rig Veda, that is Purusha Sukta. Which Veda is considered as musical treatise? What is that? Samaveda. Gayatri mantra formed part of Rig Veda. We have seen Gayatri mantra was part of 3rd mandala in Rig Veda. What is the age of early Vedic period? This is 1500 to 1000 BC. The religion of early Vedic Aryans was primarily, it was, image worship was not there. Image worship has come later in history. So worship of nature, yajnas and bhakti. So yajnas. So they performed yajnas and worship of nature was important one. The term Nishka, which meant ornament in Vedic period, was used in later times to denote. So it was a kind of transaction, exchange. So it was a kind of coin. This ornament during Vedic period has become a type of coin later. The crop which was not known to Vedic people, barley, wheat, rice, tobacco. They don't know tobacco, but they know barley, wheat, rice. Barley in early Vedic period they produced, wheat and rice they produced in later Vedic period. The tax which kings used to collect from people in Vedic period was Bali, Vidata, Varman, Kala. It is Bali. So these are questions, some previous year questions from different examinations in the Vedic age. So with this, we are finishing the explanation part of Vedic age, and we will meet in the next class. Thank you.